Okay, example 2, the edges of a new sidewalk must be parallel in order to meet accessibility requirements. Concrete is poured between straight strings. How does the inspector know that the edges of the sidewalk are parallel? So, to me, in this picture, that looks like a sidewalk. So we're going to call that the sidewalk. And they're telling us that they put some strings down. We're going to say their strings are going to be, let's make them blue, see if that shows up good. That show up okay for everybody? So they put down a string there, and they put down a string there, right? And those strings need to be parallel to one another. Do they have to be? I mean, if I was building the sidewalk and I was putting the strings down, would it be possible that I might not make them parallel? Because I'm a person and I make mistakes, right? So it's a possibility they might not be parallel to one another. Now, if you take a look at the road that makes an angle with the sidewalk, let's make the roads line red. Here's the roads line making the transversal to the sidewalk string lines, right? Concrete's poured between straight strings. How does the inspector know the edges of the sidewalk are parallel? So an inspector is going to come and check their work to make sure that we don't have some sidewalk coming up like this, it's going like that, and just, well, so really wide back here, but it's getting really hard to walk because I don't fit, right? Obviously, it would probably be that big of a deal, it wouldn't be that bad, but if we take a look at the inspector comes, you can see that we measured a couple angles here in the picture, and this angle here 53 degrees, and this angle here is 53 degrees. What kind of angles are those? What angle pair name is that?
Which ones?
The 53 and the 53?
Vertical. That's
They're not vertical because to be vertical they have to be right here and right. So this angle here and this angle here would be vertical angles. Since they're separated by the parallel lines, they're not vertical angles.
Alternate exterior.
Alternate exterior, right? This red lines are transversal to the two supposedly parallel lines. So again, they look like parallel lines, but we can't say they're parallel until we've convinced ourselves of the fact based on some theorem. And we can see that this is a 53-degree angle, and this is 53. They're on opposite sides of the transversal alternate. They're outside the two lines that might be parallel exterior. So the two 53-degree angles are alternate exterior angles. And 53 is the same as 53, right? So how does the inspector know the edges of the sidewalk are parallel? The answer is the converse of the alternate exterior angle here. Again, anytime you want to say something's parallel, it's got to be because of a converse of a theorem. Either converse of alternate exterior, converse of alternate interior, converse of corresponding, or converse of same side interior. One of those four. If the conclusion is the lines are parallel, which is what we're trying to conclude here, right? So basically the gist of this problem is you need to determine what types of angles you're looking at, see that they're equal, all right? If the inspector instead had measured, let's say this angle is 53 degrees here, and this angle here is 127 degrees. Let's say you measure those two angles. Well, 53 plus 127
180.
equals 180, and those are same side interior angles, right? So if we can make given those two angles in this picture, how does the inspector know that the strings are parallel to one another? You would say by the converse of the same side interior angle postulate, or theorem actually. There's a same side interior angle postulate, there's the converse of the, yeah, it's a theorem. Postulates are things that are supposedly common sense. They decided to make the same side interior angle postulate. Everything else is a theorem. So everything else has been proven based on the postulate. But long story short, you need to pick out which angles they're giving you to see which theorem you're using to show the parallel. So anytime in the homework tonight, if it says, how do you know these things are parallel, there's going to be some converse of a theorem that's telling you that. You just need to pick out the angles they're giving you, name them properly, and you get the right answer.